What's up, guys? Welcome to Lion's Heart. And in this video, I wanted to just give a brief outline and introduction to what Lion's Heart is and what the vision here is. So one thing that I've noticed, and I don't mean to judge or criticize other channels, but one thing that I've noticed in the area of self-help and personal development is this issue, and maybe you've seen it too, of kind of sporadic videos, right? Like one video on NoFap, and then next week there's a video on um, finances, and then there's the next video on psychology, um, and the problem that I've realized here is that this becomes very scattered, right? The information becomes very scattered, and you don't really know, your mind and the neural connections don't really know where to put all this information. Like, where does it all go? What is the point of knowing all these things, right? And so what happens is people become a jack of all trades. They become well versed in all these random things. And to me, that's not very helpful. That doesn't really get you anywhere. It's kind of like you're just like flat. You got all these pockets of information, but you're not going deep into anything. There's no mastery, there's no depth. And more importantly, it doesn't really co-weave and integrate and build and play off of each other into one grand vision, one grand purpose that you can then direct and funnel and focus into your life and what you want to create with your life. And that really is where I'm getting at with Lion's Heart. It's an integration of powerful concepts, topics, values, and study material that I have learned and am continuing to learn, but have learned over the last 10 years. And really, these are timeless principles for living a powerful and effective life. And one thing that I'm never going to do with Lion's Heart is tell people what to do or how to live their lives. I believe that we are all mini gods, we are all mini creators, that life is almost like a video game or like Play-Doh, and that we can create in life what we want and what we desire. What I want to do is help to instill and provide the powerful principles for you guys to be able to, create the life that you want to create in a powerful and effective way. And really, what we want to do is we want to interweave these principles and concepts so that they make a whole, big picture understanding. Another thing with Lion's Heart is what I really want to do is integrate a whole human being, right? We want to bring the spiritual into the mundane human experience and also empower ourselves with our daily habits and our life, right? This is not about some fireworks non-dual realization of God. I mean, of course, that will be involved. We will have practices and studies and discussions on reality and God realization. But what is the point of that if it can't be brought into the human experience, into the body, into your purpose, into your vision, into your relationships, into your life? Because at the end of the day, everything is God. Everything is non-dual. It is that realization. So the whole point of Lion's Heart is to have that awakening, understand ourselves as that oneness, but then let it trickle down into our lives. Let it trickle down into our day-to-day and our habits and our discipline and our focus. And really, this channel is not for the skittish. It is not for the weak. It is not for the beginners, honestly. This channel is for people who are serious about not only awakening, but bringing an awakened consciousness into your day-to-day life and having mastery in your day-to-day life. I know that's a very small percentage of people, and that this is a very niche audience. This is not the general public or the general population. And you may have actually noticed, if you've been watching my videos for a while, there's three main pillars that these videos kind of circle around or keep coming back to. And one of those is, spirituality. Obviously, we talk about non-duality and love, and I share practices for awakening. Another is sexuality. So I talk about, masculinity. I talk about attraction. I talk about, dating and some of these things to help, build that sexual polarity, semen retention, different practices like that. And the third is on humanity. So this is more like our human side. This is like discipline, dopamine addiction, habits, lifestyle, right? And these all come together. These aren't random, sporadic things that I'm sharing. They all come together into one spine, one formulated vision, right? How you relate to your sexual energy, how you use your sexual energy, because to me, that's just such an untapped, unspoken about power that we really doesn't get talked about a lot in personal development circles. The next is God realization, which also is barely talked about in personal development circles. Um, and that's obviously bringing spirit into life, bringing knowing that you're God, and then bringing that into your human life and creating what you want with that understanding of yourself. And the third is the humanity, and that's probably what most of personal development is today. Is habits, look good, work out, make money, etc. But we're going to be doing that, but we're going to be holding it in that container of the spiritual understanding. What we're doing is we're bringing these realizations and this power down. We're bringing it down into the human experience so that we create a powerful and effective life. And really, this is just my philosophy. This is my philosophy on life. This is my wisdom that I want to share with you guys. And I believe that everybody has that wisdom within them. You have that wisdom within you. You are at your core God. You are at your core the universe. And you have all of that potential and wisdom within you. Maybe I'm just helping to extract that or awaken that within you. But really, what Lion's Heart's about is a sharing. It's a sharing, and this is my art. This is my philosophy. So I'm very excited for the road ahead, and it's going to be a long ride. And I really hope that some of you guys watching are rocking with me from day one, and we'll look back at this in the future, and we will just be in shock at how much we've accomplished and how good we feel and how much mastery we've attained in our lives, and really just the ability to be strong, grounded, present human beings with a holistic psychology and a connection to spirit and just a mastery of lifestyle and discipline and habits. I can't think of a more powerful way to live life. I mean, life is the video game, right? Life is the Play-Doh. And I find this so much more cool and fascinating and engaging and fun to master life in itself as a game, as the psychedelic trip, rather than video games or TV or watching sports. Like, this is the game, right? This is your game, and you have full autonomy and sovereignty to do and create what you want. And it's such a gift, and really it's just tapping into that God power within yourself through practices, through discipline, through perseverance, and through hard work, right? So I'm excited for this. I got your guys back. I'm going to give you all I've got. And, I'm really dedicated to this. And I'm really excited for what the future has to hold and where we're going to go. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of make this video to, let you guys know what this channel is about, and that this is not just another self-help channel, that we're really going somewhere with this, and there is a vision and a blueprint. And I would like to show you guys that blueprint real quick. And here we go. So we've got the blueprint here. As you can see at the bottom, we've got the foundation, right? And so this is kind of like the Lion's Heart blueprint, right? So at the bottom, we've got the foundation, and this is just so key. I'm going to make videos on each level in the future, but right now I just want to give you guys kind of like, just get excited about the outline. Put a lot of thought and intention into this blueprint, and it kind of just came through, naturally. But yeah, at the bottom we've got our discipline, habits. Like what is our spine, right? This is like our spine. This is like, we can't go to the higher levels of development until we've got the foundation down, right? And this is just like discipline, sleep, habits, study, health, your environment, making sure that we've got our finances down, like these kinds of things. So the foundation is key. This is our bricks. We're just laying those bricks every day so that we have that baseline, right? We have that spine. It's like the engine to our boat, and we can then direct the boat from there, right? The foundation is so key. I love foundation. I find it fascinating. I think it's so cool. Honestly, this is what like 95% of modern self-help is about, is just foundation. But for us, this will just be like the building blocks for us to create a powerful life. And above the foundation, we have our temple. This is our structure. This is what you want to build, right? Your temple is going to look different from mine. It's going to look different from everybody else's. What's beautiful about the temple is that you get to create what you want. You get to create the building that you want, right? We have the foundation laid down, and now you can build what kind of vision, purpose, what kind of principles you want to live by, the effect you want to have in the world, how you want to relate to your sexual energy, the practices, the spiritual practices you want to do. Maybe you're more into yoga. Maybe you like meditation more. We're going to go into emotional mastery, psychology, and we're really going to emphasize creation and doing and bringing things into the world rather than just being consumers. So the temple is super exciting because that's literally like you're seeing life as a video game. You're building it from scratch. You're creating what you want to create as a mini god, as a mini creator. And then obviously at the peak, we've got, what I would consider the purpose of life, right? And this is self-realization. This is coming into who am I, like coming into that recognition of ourselves as consciousness, as witness consciousness, as one with reality, so that we can play the game from a place of, knowing the truth and having that right action and acting from love and enjoying the game, knowing that, it is a game and that it's temporary and that we are infinite, right? And that these bodies and this experience is very sacred, but it's temporary. So we can just play the game from that knowing, from that understanding, that God realization. And the reason that there's this dripping under the eye there is that you can see kind of like that honey dripping. The reason for that is that this will drip into all other aspects of life, right? So the realization of God, the God realization, the awakening will drip into your vision, your sexuality, your discipline, your habits. The way you live your life will all revolve around that, which is why that's at the peak there. So it's not separate. These are all intertwined, integrated aspects of life. The foundation, the temple, the peak, they all come together, right? And then we'll see at the top right, we have, this is our gasoline. This is our our juice to keep us going, right? The tenets of perseverance, trust, determination, patience, surrender, love, and momentum. We're going to really work on just having that badass mindset of like warrior monk, like we just keep going. I trust this process. I trust that life is fair and that when you do the right things come back and happen, right? So that's where we're going to focus on with the gasoline and making sure that we have, just the right fuel to keep us going on this path, because it does get tough. It does get difficult. It does get dark. And then on the left, we've got, balance, efficiency, detail, just making sure that we're doing things properly. We're not just meditating, but we're doing it with efficiency. We're taking focus on details and that everything's balanced in our life, right? Not too much discipline, not too much sleep, not too much life purpose, not too much sexuality, but really balance these things out in a way that works authentically for us. And then in the top left, we have the synergy of, as I mentioned earlier, the sexual, spiritual, and human components of life. So this is just bringing us back to really integrating all these aspects, right? Having a good connection to our sexual energy, bringing that into our human side of life, being a human being, right? We're in these bodies for a reason. And then also realizing that we're actually not in these bodies. These bodies aren't us, and that we are the consciousness and the space within which reality unfolds, the spiritual, that we are one with everything, and that love is the point of life. So I'm super excited, guys, and I hope this kind of got you pumped up, and we're going to dive into this blueprint in the weeks to come. I'll be rocking with you guys, trying to make weekly videos, and let's go to the moon. Much love. Talk soon.